And we're live here in Falcon Park in Auburn, New York, as the Auburn Doubledays take on the Newark Pilots on a cloudy 72-degree night here in Auburn. I'm Evan Carocchio, and let's meet tonight's starting lineups. Batting first for the Newark Pilots, wearing number 20, playing second base, Dominic Zina. Batting second, playing left field, wearing number 8, Grant Rousseau. Batting third, playing right field, number 5, Mason Haar. Batting cleanup, number 32, catching, Brennan Staubley. Batting fifth, playing center field, number 11, Keegan McGraw. Batting sixth, playing first base, number 7, Stephen Cross. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, wearing number 9, Jack Stead. Batting eighth, playing third base, number 3, Ray Toth. Batting ninth, DHing, number 31, Jack Harley. And batting last for the Newark Pilots, wearing number 22, DHing, Jake Keenan. And tonight's starting pitcher for the Newark Pilots is number 38, Colin Schneider. Colin Schneider's hometown is Utica, New York. He has yet to have a start here in the 2024 PGCBL Summer League season. His last stats were last year. His ERA was a 1.28 ERA. He has 0 wins, 1 loss. Like I said, this is his first start this season, so he's looking to make it a great one. And now let's meet your Auburn Doubledays starting lineup. Batting first, wearing number 8, playing shortstop, Gavin Grapuso. Batting second, playing right field, wearing number 5, Ethan Fulton. Batting third, DHing, number 10, Gage Sanders. Batting cleanup, wearing number 32 and playing first base, Zach Bale. Batting fifth, EHing, wearing number 7, Fernando Espinal. Batting sixth, wearing number 1, playing second base, Alex Sandell. Batting seventh, wearing number 39, playing third base, Adam Sullivan. Batting eighth, wearing number 22, Bradley Soto Diaz, playing center field. Playing left field and wearing number 19 and batting ninth, Ryan Grundy. And batting last for your Auburn Doubledays, wearing number 30 and catching, Dalton Groves. The starting pitcher for your Auburn Doubledays is wearing number 31, Andrew Rucci. Now, Rucci comes to the game. He's got a 0-0 record. His ERA is also 0.00, repeating. He has 6 strikeouts and 3 2/3 innings pitched. So he's also looking for an exceptional start tonight and hoping to keep that ERA at 0.00. The Newark Pilots come into this game. They have a record of 8 wins and 13 losses. They are on a bit of a hot streak, 5-5 in their last 10 games, and they are 7.5 games behind, though, so they hope that this winning streak continues. They are on a 4-game winning streak, and their last game, they won Friday 7-4 versus Niagara Falls. The Auburn Doubledays come into this game. Their game was postponed yesterday versus Jamestown at Jamestown. They won Friday in a doubleheader. They won the first game 1-0. They then won the second game 4-0. And pitching for the Auburn Doubledays in the doubleheader versus the Geneva Red Wings on Friday was Derek Bolander, who threw a complete game shutout. In the first game of the doubleheader, he pitched 7 innings, gave up only 2 hits, 0 earned runs, and 9 strikeouts. An exceptional night for Derek Bolander. Then starting on the mound for the second game of the doubleheader versus the Geneva Red Wings was Gage Rowe. He also threw a complete game shutout. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 3 strikeouts. So Derek Bolander and Gage Rowe gave up 0 runs each versus the Geneva Red Wings. And Andrew Rucci for the Doubledays is looking to do that here against the Pilots tonight. So that'll be it from me before the anthem will be sung and the ceremonial first pitch will be thrown Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on your Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel as the Doubledays take on the Pilots on a Sunday night 5:05 first pitch start. We'll be back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. The national anthem has been sung. The ceremonial first pitch has been thrown. Doubledays baseball is just about underway here on a cloudy 72 degrees Sunday night. Warming up on the bump is Andrew Rucci, who, like I said, has a 0.00 ERA, and he's looking for an exceptional start tonight against the Newark Pilots. The Auburn Doubledays are in their home white uniforms, and the Newark Pilots are in their away blue uniforms. The last time these two teams matched up, the Auburn Doubledays got beat quite badly, 16-7 at Newark, so the Doubledays are looking for some revenge. And just like that, Andrew Rucci is just about ready to go after warming up. Due up for the Newark Pilots is Dominic Zinna, who comes into the game with a .255 batting average. Zinna ready to go. Rucci ready to go. The pitch on the way, and that's outside for ball one. That pitch clocked in at 88 miles per hour. First pitch from Rucci there is a ball. The next pitch, that one's inside for ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. Rucci looking to work himself back in the count. The 2-0, and that one swung on and whipped. Half of a full count here to the righty Zinna. Andrew Rucci comes from Wagner College, and his hometown is Staten Island, New York. And that next pitch finds the zone. A breaking ball clipping the outside corner of the plate. 76 miles per hour. Count is now 2-2. As Rucci works himself back in the count. The pitch to kick the flip on the way, and that one's drilled to the shortstop. He's going to pick it up cleanly. The throw to first is in time. A 6-3 put out by Gavin Grapuso to get the first out of the inning. What a great play there by number 8, Gavin Grapuso, to get out the speedy Dominic Zinna. So with 1 out here in the top of the first inning, that'll bring up Grant Russo, the left fielder, who's got a .343 batting average. The pitch on the way. That one swung on and whiffed. Count is 0-1 with 1 out. As Rucci comes set, the pitch on the way, and that one's low for ball one. 89 miles per hour, that's his top velo so far. Rucci comes set, the pitch on the way, and that was low again. Back-to-back low pitches, making the count 2-1. To the lefty, Grant Russo. The 2-1 pitch, and that one swung on and popped up back our way. Count is 2-2 again. Rucci looking to do some damage here, ahead in the count, 2-2. Rucci comes set. The 2-2 pitch on the way, a breaking ball that just misses the zone. We've got a full count to the lefty, Russo. Rucci comes set. The 2-2 pitch, and that one's inside for ball four. That was a 3-2 pitch. There's the first runner of the game on first base for the Newark Pilots. And with 1 out and 1 runner on, that'll bring up Mason Haar, who supports a .344 batting average for the Pilots. Haar comes from Victor, New York, and attends the University of Mount Olive. And off of first already is Grant Russo. The pitch, and that's a strike right down the middle for strike one. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch from Rucci, and that one just misses the zone. That one's low. 1-1 count. No budge from the home plate umpire. Rucci giving Russo a look. The pitch, and that one swung on and whiffed. Count is 1-2, and the throw down to first was not in time. It ricocheted off the glove of Zach Bale. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Russo off of first again. Rucci comes set, giving Russo a look. The pitch, and breaking ball, and that's going to be just foul of the right field line. So staying alive is Mason Haar. That one just missed fair territory to the right of green grass. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Russo off of first, and there he goes to second, and that pitch is wild. The throw down to second, not in time. A stolen bag for Grant Russo. We've got a runner in scoring position, 2-2 count. This is the 6th pitch of the at-bat, and Russo is already halfway down second base. But Sandel's going to keep him close. Rucci giving Russo a look. The pitch, and that one's going to be swung on and popped up. Foul territory, first base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on scoring position. 0-0 ball game. Sandel's going to keep Russo close again, and Har's going to flip his bat around in the batter's box, take some time in between pitches to clear his mind. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one's just low for ball 3. Full count, and that'll bring up the 8th pitch of the at-bat to Mason Har. Russo off of second base, the 3-2 pitch, and that one's high for ball 4. Rucci was ahead in the count, 1-2. He then fell behind 3-2 and gave up a walk to Mason Har. So that'll put a runner on first and second, and that'll bring up the cleanup batter, Brennan Staubley, the catcher as well. He's got a runner on first and scoring position with 1 out. Rucci comes set from the stretch, and there goes Russo to third. The throw to third is not in time. A great throw by the catcher, Dalton Groves, and there's another stolen bag for Grant Russo, as that first pitch does, in fact, find the zone. Har off of first, Russo off of third, Bale keeping Har close on first, and that next pitch does not find the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out to Brennan Staubley. Rucci comes set, the 1-1 pitch, and that one's a dead ball. That one hit off of the leg of Staubley and bounced foul. So now we have a 1-2 count again from Andrew Rucci. He's looking for a strikeout here. That would be his first of the night. The pitch, and that was swung on and whiffed. A strikeout for Andrew Rucci, his first of the night, as Brennan Staubley goes down swinging. So with 2 outs, runners on first and third, that'll bring up the 5th batter in the Pilots lineup, Keegan McGraw, the center fielder, looking to do some damage for the Pilots with a runner in scoring position. Rucci comes set, the pitch, and that one swung on and fouled back our way for strike 1. Souvenir for the young fans in the crowd. But it actually ricocheted off of the screen, and that one went to the on-deck batter, Stephen Cross, and he gave it back to the home plate umpire. No balls, 1 strike count, 2 outs. Rucci comes set, the pitch on the way, and that one's chopped on, swung on, and missed. So now we have a 0-2 count as Rucci gets ahead in the count. Har off of first, Russo off of third. Rucci comes set. The 0-2 pitch on the way, a breaking ball swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Rucci to end the first inning and capitalize off of 2 walks given up. What a great first inning by Andrew Rucci to pick up 2 strikeouts. And that'll be it here in the top of the first inning. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the first inning for the Auburn Doubledays at-bats. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back here for the bottom of the first inning for the Doubledays at-bats, and leading off for the Auburn Doubledays is number 8, Gavin Grapuso, the shortstop, who had an impressive play in the first inning. He supports a .285 batting average, and he's facing off against the Newark Pilots starting pitcher, number 38, Colin Schneider from Utica, New York. This is his first start of the season, and Grapuso is looking to capitalize off of Schneider's first start. Schneider comes set from the windup, the pitch, and that one's outside for ball one. One ball, no strikes, no outs, nothing ball game. The pitch on the way, and that one's high for ball two. So Schneider gets behind, 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch on the way, and that one is called strike, but gets past the glove of the catcher, Brennan Staubly. Went in and out of the glove. As there's the first pitch of the night from Colin Schneider. 2-1 count, half of a full count to the lefty Grapuso. Schneider comes set, the pitch, and that one's low for ball 3. Grapuso comes from Wingate University, and his hometown is Kingston, New York. The 3-1 pitch on the way, and that one's high for ball 4 as Grapuso takes his base. So with a runner on first base, that'll bring up the right fielder, also pitcher, Ethan Fulton, who's got a .0 batting average, looking for a base hit here. Also wants to move around Gavin Grapuso on first. Grapuso already off of first. He's known for having wheels on the base path. The throw over to first is not in time. Grapuso off of first. And there goes Grapuso to second. The pitch is wild. The throw down to second is not in time, as that kid passed the second baseman, Dominic Zinna, into shallow right field. And coming in to help that out was Mason Haar and the shortstop, Jack Stead. So we have a 1-0 count, no outs. Grapuso already off of second base, a stolen bag for him. The pitch on the way, and that one's high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner in scoring position. Fulton looking to do some damage here. On deck for the Doubledays is Gabe Sanders, the DH. The pitch, and there goes Grapuso to third. The throw down to third is not in time. Another stolen bag for Gavin Grapuso. His second of the night already in 1 inning. And that pitch was called a strike, so it is a 2-1 count with no outs. And third baseman Ray Toth not keeping Grapuso close, and that pitch is fouled to the Doubledays dugout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fulton looking for a base hit here. As Schneider comes set, he's going to take some signs from his catcher, giving Grapuso a look. The pitch from Schneider on the way, and that one swung on and fouled back our way. Staying alive is Ethan Fulton. That one was fouled off of the backstop. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs, as Schneider works himself back to the mound, collecting a new ball from the home plate umpire. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one's high and outside for ball 3. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Colin Schneider. The 3-2 pitch, and that one's fouled back again. Staying alive is Ethan Fulton. That's the second foul ball of the at-bat. As Schneider comes set, gives Grapuso a look. The full count pitch on the way, and that's ball 4. We've got runners on first and third base with no outs, and that'll bring up Gabe Sanders, who supports a .333 batting average. That means Sanders hits 1 out of 3 times when he's at the plate. So let's hope that one time starts here with a runner in scoring position and no outs. Off of third is Grapuso. Off of first is Fulton. And there goes Fulton to second. The catcher, Brandon Stobley, faked the throw. So now we have a runner on second and third base. 2 runners in scoring position, as that one was called a strike to Sanders. Both runners off their bags. Schneider comes set. The 0-1 pitch. And that one's high for ball 1. As Schneider loses his hat. One ball, one strike. Schneider comes set. The pitch, and that one's just inside, making the count 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on the way, and that was going to be popped up out of play. So now we have a 2-2 count with no outs. Sanders is ready in the batter's box. Schneider pitching from the windup. Comes set, the pitch. And that one swung on. That's going to be hit to the shortstop, Jackstad. The throw to first is in time for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning. It is a 1-0 ball game on the RBI by Gabe Sanders. And that'll bring up for the Auburn Doubledays, Zach Bale. And the first pitch to Bale is called a strike with 1 out. And that next pitch is tapped back to the pitcher, Schneider. The throw to first is not in time. The throw pulled Stephen Cross off of the mound. That's going to be a base hit for Zach Bale. Actually, an error by Schneider. So that'll bring a runner on first and third base. Bale's on first. On third is Gabe Sanders. Is Ethan Fulton, as the first pitch to Fernando Espinal is a ball. Fulton's off of third. Bale's off of first. Espinal supports a .447 batting average. Bale looking like he might steal. The throw back to first is not in time. Bale got back safely where they had first dive. So it is a 1-0 ball game on an RBI by Gabe Sanders. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Bale off of first. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit into the second baseman. He's going to flip it to the shortstop. A great play there by Dominic Zinna as he flips it to Jack Stead. But we do have one run come in. So Bale's out at second. Espinal's on first. We do have 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, but it is a 2-0 ball game. Doubledays are up. As Espinal is going to steal, the throw to second is not in time. Alex Sandell at the plate with 2 outs, 1-0 count. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Espinal off of second, the pitch from Schneider, and that was going to be popped up back our way for strike 1. Espinal off of second base. Schneider's going to come set. Keeping him close is Zinna, the pitch, and that one's high for ball 2. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Schneider's going to come set the 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be popped up to center field. Running underneath that is Keegan McGraw for the F8 putout, and that will end the first inning, but 2 runs come in, and RBI, 2 RBIs that score the Doubledays runners. We'll be back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back here for the top of the second inning. Doubledays are up 2-0. And the pitch on the way, and that one's high to Stephen Krause, who supports a .258 batting average. One ball, no strikes, the pitch, and that one's in the dirt for ball 2. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be popped up out of play. As coming set is Rucci, the pitch, and that one's popped back our way against the backstop. Count is 2-2 to the first baseman, Stephen Krause. Krause comes from Hilton, New York, and attends Binghamton University. The 2-2 pitch, and that one's going to be hit to the second baseman, Alex Sandell. The throw to first is in time. 4-3 put out. What a great play by Alex Sandell for the first out in the top of the second inning. And that'll bring up for the Newark Pilots, the 7th batter in their lineup, Jack Stead, the shortstop. He's got 1 out, no runners on, the pitch on the way, and that one's called strike by the home plate umpire. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out, the pitch on the way from Rucci, and that one's outside for ball 1. Stead supports a .205 batting average. The pitch on the way from Rucci, and that one's going to be fouled back our way, making the count 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Rucci's going to come set, get some new signs from the catcher Dalton Groves. 1-2 count, the pitch on the way, and that breaking ball finds the zone, and down looking goes Jack Stead. Another strikeout for Andrew Rucci. That's his 3rd of the night. With 2 outs, that'll bring up Ray Toth, the 8th batter in the Pilots lineup. He plays 3rd base. The pitch on the way, and that one is low for ball 1. Roth supports a .258 batting average. And that pitch is a breaking ball that does not find the zone. It is a 2-0 count. And that next pitch finds the zone, 2-1 count. That's the first strike to Ray Toth, the righty. And that pitch is going to be swung on and missed, 2-2 count. Two balls, 2 strikes, the 2-2 pitch, and that was swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Rucci. He looks impressive tonight. His breaking ball is working as he got Ray Toth striking out, swinging. 2-0 ball game as the Auburn Doubledays at-bats are due up in the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll be right back. We're back here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Due up for the Auburn Doubledays is Adam Sullivan, the 3rd baseman. The pitch on the way from Schneider, and that one swung on and missed for the first strike here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Doubledays up 2-0. An RBI from Fernando Espinal and an RBI from Gabe Sanders in the first score the Doubledays runs. The pitch, that one's going to be popped up, 3rd base side, out of play. Count is no balls, 2 strikes. Sullivan down 0-2, looking to get a base hit here to avoid a strikeout. The 0-2 pitch on the way, and that one's going to be popped up again, third base side, out of play. Colin Schneider's going to come set. The 0-2 pitch, that one's going to be hit into center field, and that one's going to drop in for a base hit. A single for Adam Sullivan to get the Doubledays offense going in the bottom of the second inning. And with no outs and one person on, that's going to bring up Bradley Soto Diaz. He's got a .411 batting average. The throw back to first is not in time. Sullivan off of first. And there he goes to second. The throw down to second is not in time. A wild throw from the catcher will be a stolen base for Adam Sullivan. Now we have a runner in scoring position with 1 ball and no outs, as the catcher, Brennan Staubly, wants to go talk it over with his starting pitcher, Colin Schneider. And that gives time for Steve LaRose to talk to Bradley Soto Diaz. He's up in the count, 1-0, looking for a base hit to score. The runner for the Doubledays, Adam Sullivan, as Soto steps back up to the plate. 1-0 count. Off of second is Sullivan. Schneider's going to come set, give Sullivan a look. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit to the third baseman. He's going to give Sullivan the look. The throw to first is in time. A 5-3 put out that will halt Sullivan in his tracks. We've got 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring up Ryan Grundy, the left fielder, who supports a .152 batting average. And off of second is Sullivan. Schneider's going to step off Sullivan, got off the bag way too much. Two 0 ball game, 1 hit for the Doubledays, no hits for the Pilots. The pitch on the way, and that pitch just misses the zone. 1-0 count. One ball, no strikes. Schneider's going to give Sullivan a look again. The pitch on the way, and that one's called a strike inside corner of the plate to the lefty Grundy. Grundy goes to the College of Holy Cross and is from Weston, Massachusetts. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and that one's going to be a dead ball. We've got runners on first and second. As that pitch hits Grundy. So with runners on first and second, that'll bring up the last batter in the Doubledays lineup, Dalton Groves, the catcher. As the manager for the Newark Pilots, Daniel Steve, is going to call timeout to check on his catcher, Brennan Staubly, who appears to be injured. Let's hope that he's all right. The trainer's going to go out and check on Staubly as well. We have a runner on first and second. as Stobley is definitely in pain on his hand. So it appears that Stobley is all right. The pitch on the way from Schneider is a strike to Dalton Groves. That pitch finds the zone, the 0-1 pitch, and that one's going to drop into right field, a base hit for Dalton Groves. Sullivan comes home, and being held at third base is Ryan Grundy, a double for Dalton Groves that drops into right field. So it's going to be a 3-0 game. That's 2 hits for the Auburn Doubledays. 3-0 ball game on the double by Dalton Groves. The lineup will flip over. That'll bring up Gavin Grapuso, as that pitch does not find the zone. Schneider's going to come set. The pitch on the way, and that one's high to Grapuso. 1-1 count. That makes it a 2-1 count. Two balls, one strike with 1 out. And that one's outside for ball 3. Count is 3-1 to Grapuso, the pitch, and that's ball 4. Grapuso's going to walk. So with bases loaded here in the bottom of the second inning and 1 out, that's going to bring up Ethan Fulton. Bases loaded, 1 out. Schneider's going to come set. The pitch that's outside for ball 1. The pitch, and that's outside for ball 2. The pitch, and that's called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 out to Ethan Fulton. The 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's outside for ball 3. The 3-1 pitch on the way, and that one's going to be popped up into left field. Running underneath that and making the grab is Grant Russo. The throw to home is in time, and that's 3 outs. That's going to get out Ryan Grundy as he tagged up from third to home. And that'll end things here in the bottom of the second. 3-0 ball game as we make our way to the top of the third inning. We'll be back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back here in the top of the third inning. Due up for the Newark Pilots is Jack Harley, the 9th batter in their lineup. Andrew Rucci comes set, and that first pitch was in the dirt. One ball, no strikes, the pitch, and that breaking ball is going to find the zone. 1-1 count. And that pitch is going to be hit to the second baseman, Alex Sandell, for a 4-3 put out. That's the first out here in the top of the third inning. And that'll bring up the last batter in the Pilots lineup, Jake Keenan, with 1 out. Rucci's going to come set the pitch, and that one's high for ball 1. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be called a strike. Swinging was Keenan, so a 1-1 count. The pitch on the way, and that's inside for ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. The pitch on the way, and that's a breaking ball that misses the zone. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be fouled back our way, making the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be hit to the second baseman, Sandell again. The throw to first is in time. Another 4-3 put out to get the second out here in the top of the third inning. Three-0 ball game, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Dominic Zena as the lineup flips over for the Pilots. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be hit to the third baseman, Sullivan. The throw over to first is in time. A 5-3 put out to end the top of the third. 3 up, 3 down. Andrew Rucci looks impressive as the Doubledays at-bats are due up. We'll be back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. As that is going to be the first out here in the bottom of the third inning. Gabe Sanders was out on a great throw by the shortstop there. That's a 6-3 put out, and that'll bring up Zach Bale with one out. The pitch on the way, and that one's low for ball one. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one's outside for ball two. The 2-0 pitch, and that one's going to be hit to the shortstop again. The throw to first is in time. A great throw by the shortstop, Jack Stead. Another 6-3 put out. That time it'll get out Zach Bale. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Fernando Espinal, who's got a .445 batting average. He did score an RBI in the first inning. 2 outs, 3-0 ball game. The pitch on the way, and that's a foul tip for strike one. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be fouled. Third base side, out of play, making the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch on the way, and that's a breaking ball. That's high for ball one. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch on the way, and that finds the zone. Down looking goes Fernando Espinal. He can't believe it. A great pitch there by Colin Schneider, and there's a strikeout for Schneider. That's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 3rd. That's going to bring up the Newark Pilots at bats in the 4th inning. Still a 3-0 ball game. We'll be back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Welcome back. We've got a 2-0 count to Grant Russo. The pitch on the way, and that one's ball 3 to the lefty Russo. Rucci's down 3-0. The pitch, and that one's going to be a strike outside corner of the plate. The count is 3-1 to the lefty Russo. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be ball 4 as Grant Russo is going to take his base. So that'll bring up Mason Haar for the Pilots. The pitch on the way from Rucci is inside for ball 1. Got a 1-0 count with no outs. The time is 6:01. We're about an hour into the game here in the top of the 4th. And the throw over to first is not in time to try and get Grant Russo. One ball, no strikes. And the throw over to first is not in time, but taking off the second is Russo. The throw is not in time. A stolen bag for Grant Russo. As Bradley Soto in center field couldn't believe that he was called safe. He thought he was out, but Rucci tried to pick him off at first, but instead Russo took off the second, and that was a stolen bag. And Russo's already off of second base. Keeping him close is Sandell. The pitch on the way, and that one just misses the strike zone. 2-0 count with no outs. The 2-0 pitch, and that one's going to be thrown back to second base to try to get the stealing Russo. So no pitch. Try to get a pickoff by Rucci. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch on the way, and that one's inside for ball 3. The 3-0, and that one's called strike. Fastball down the middle, making the count 3-1. And stepping off the mound is Rucci. He tried to pick off Russo, but Russo got off in time. Or got back in time, excuse me. So it is a 3-1 count now to the righty Haar. Rucci's going to keep Russo close. The pitch, and that's high for ball 4. Calling time is Dalton Groves. He's going to clear the mind of his starting pitcher, Andrew Rucci, who's pitched exceptionally so far. And that'll bring up the catcher and cleanup batter, Brendan Staubley. As Steve LaRose is going to call timeout. And it looks like he's pointing at something. And that might be the night for Andrew Rucci. And it looks like it is. We've got a relief pitcher coming in to take the place of Andrew Rucci. Through 3 innings pitched, he gave up no hits, no earned runs, but did just have back-to-back walks in the start of the 4th inning. A great start for Andrew Rucci. His ERA is still going to be 0.00 through 3 innings. And we'll be right back as the relief pitcher warms up for the Doubledays. We're back here. Now pitching is Anders Axelson. He's wearing number 20. That was Derek Bolander's number. And he's going to be wearing it now. He comes into the game with runners on first and second base. And due up is Brennan Stobley, the catcher for the Pilots. Off of second is Russo. Anderson's going to give him a look, the pitch, and that's way outside. Both runners are going to take off to second and third base. A wild pitch from Anderson that will move the runners around on their bags. So now we have a runner on second and third base. 2 runners in scoring position. 2-0 count, no outs. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Anderson's going to come set. The pitch to Stobley, and that's wild again. Taking off to home is Russo. 4-1 ball game. Pilots score their first run on a wild pitch from Anders Axelson. Three 3-1 ball game as Grant Russo scored. Still a runner on third. The 3-0 pitch, and that one's called strike. First strike pitch of the night for Anders Axelson. So it was a 3-1 count. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be in the dirt. 4 balls in the dirt. That's going to walk Brennan Stobley. And with no outs, runners on first and third, that'll bring up Keegan McGraw, the center fielder. McGraw bats 5th for the Pilots. And the center fielder is looking to score another run for the Pilots. And taking off to second is Brandon Stobley, and no throw from Dalton Groves. A stolen bag for Brennan Stobley. 1-0 count with no outs. The pitch on the way, and that one's low and in the dirt, making the count 2 balls, no strikes. Anders Axelson having a tough time finding the strike zone so far. The pitch on the way, and that one's low and in the dirt again. Great stop by Groves. Another ball from Axelson. We've got runners on second and third base here in the top of the 4th. 1 run has already come in. Axelson's going to come set. He's down 3-0, the pitch, and that one's finally a strike down the middle. The pitch on the way from Anders as he comes set is a strike, and that's fouled on back underneath the umpire, making the count full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes with no outs as Groves gives Axelson, a new ball. Runners are off their bags. The pitch on the way, and that one's fouled back. Count is still full. R is on third. On second is Stobley. The 3-2 pitch. And that one's low for ball 4. So we have another walk given up by Anders Axelson, and Steve LaRose is going to make his way to the mound. And this might be it for Anders Axelson's night, as the manager of the Doubledays is going to have a talk with him, and he's going to signal to the bullpen, and that's going to be it for Axelson's night. We'll be back as the relief pitcher comes in. I apologize, but we are having camera issues. Pitching now is Tyler Blake, number 36. The first pitch was fouled by Stephen Cross. And we've got a 1-1 count as that next pitch was a ball. Runners are on every single bag. And that one's in the dirt. Spike, great stop by Dalton Groves, though, making the count 2-1. Two balls, one strike, half of a full count to the lefty Cross. And that one's going to be fouled back our way, making the count 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, no outs. The pitch on the way, and that one's low for ball 3. Three balls, two strikes, no outs. And that one's going to be foul tipped into the glove of Groves for a strikeout for Tyler Blake. So that'll bring up for the Newark Pilots, Jack Stead, the shortstop, as that first pitch is chopped on. No balls, 1 strike with 1 out. Bases are still loaded. A strikeout by Blake. Got Cross, as that next pitch does not find the zone. 1-1 count with 1 out. The next pitch, and that one's going to be swung on and missed. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Blake's going to come set. The 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be hit into Sandell's glove and off. 1 run came in. Another one came in. We've got a tie game off of a ball that came off of Alex Sandell's glove. So now the score is 3-3 with 1 out. There are runners on first and third as the camera is back. And that'll bring up Ray Toth with 1 out. The pitch on the way, and there goes Stead. The throw to second is a fake, and the throw to third is in time. And that one's going to get Jack Stead, that one's going to get Stephen Cross out. So a stolen bag for Jack Stead as Stephen Cross gets out at third base on a great throw by Dalton Grove. So now we do have 2 outs. That one was a ball, so 1-0 count. The pitch on the way, and that one's inside for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch, and that one's outside corner, making the count 2-1. Half of a full count here to Ray Toth. The pitch, and that one's going to be belted to left field, but foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tyler Blake looking for a strikeout here. On second base is Jack Stead. The pitch, and that one's outside for ball 3, making the count 3-2 with 2 outs. Full count to Ray Toth. The pitch, and that's outside for ball 4. A walk given up by Blake to Ray Toth. So with 2 outs, runners on first and second, that'll bring up Jack Harley. And that pitch does find the zone. We've got 1 strike. That next pitch also finds the zone. 0-2 count. Blake gets ahead in the count to Jack Harley with 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch, and that one's outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3-3 ball game. Both teams have a base hit that was ruled a hit off of Sandell's glove. The 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be chopped into Dalton Grove's glove on a bounce. Runners are going to have to go back to their bags. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners are off their bags. The pitch from Blake, and that one's low and in the dirt, making the count 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. And that one's going to be hit right back to Blake, but it gets past his glove. Sandell makes the grab and touches on second for the third out of the inning, but not after runs come in for the Auburn Doubledays. A great play there by Alex Sandell. Stepped on second base to get out Ray Toth. So that'll be it here in the top of the fourth. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the fourth. We'll be right back. We're back here in the bottom of the first. Leading off is Alex Sandell. And that first pitch does find the zone for strike one. 3-3 ball game. The Newark Pilots scored 3 runs in the top of the fourth inning off of a hit off of Sandell's glove, but he had a great play to end the top of the fourth as that next pitch is swung on and whiffed. 0-2 count. Sandell steps back up to the plate. The pitch on the way, and that one's high from Colin Schneider. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. The pitch on the way, and that one's high for ball 2. Breaking ball that does not find the zone from Colin Schneider. Sandell kept back in the box. 2-2 count. The pitch, and that one swung on and missed. A strikeout for Colin Schneider. Strikeout swinging as down goes Sandell. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Adam Sullivan, with 1 out. Sullivan needing a base hit here to get things going for the Doubledays. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be ball 1. Sullivan singled into center field earlier on in the game, looking to keep his hitting streak alive in the game, and that one's going to be into center field and go to the glove of Keegan McGraw. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning on a F8 putout. With 2 outs, that'll bring up Bradley Soto Diaz. Schneider comes set. The pitch to Diaz, and that one swung on and whiffed. Diaz was swinging for the fences on that swing. 0-1 count with 2 outs. Schneider's going to come set the pitch, and that was going to be fouled back our way, making the count 0-2. as the home plate umpire grabs the foul ball against the backstop. Schneider gets a new ball. Diaz back in the box. He's down 0-2. The pitch on the way, and that one is low and in the dirt for ball one. Field umpire says he does not go. One ball, two strikes, two outs. Diaz looking to stay alive. The 1-2 pitch, and that one's in the dirt for ball two as Schneider loses his hat again. It is a rather windy night here in Auburn. Schneider has lost his hat a few times now. Count is 2-2. The pitch, and that one's inside for ball three. Diaz works himself back in the count. Three balls, two strikes, two outs. The pitch on the way, and that one's outside, ball four. Diaz is going to take his base, and that'll bring up Ryan Grundy, the left fielder. The lefty left fielder looking to move Diaz around on the bases, and he's looking for a base hit himself. Throw back to first is not in time to try to get Diaz. He tossed off his, it's like his batting glove or sliding mitt. It's his batting glove. He did not want it. And Schneider tried to pick him off as he was doing that. Diaz is off at first. He's taking off to second. The throw to second is not in time. That gets past the glove of Jack Stead. Wild throw down from Brennan Stobley as a stolen bag is going to happen for Bradley Soto Diaz. First pitch was a ball, so it is a 1-0 count with two outs. Excuse me, it is a 0-1 count, a strike. So no balls, one strike with two outs. Diaz off of second, the pitch, and that one's high for ball one. Diaz was halfway down the base path there. One ball, one strike with two outs. The pitch, and that one's going to be belted first base side, but that's foul. One ball, two strikes, two outs. Off of second is Diaz. Schneider's going to give him a look. The pitch, and that's way outside. That one clocked in at 65. A wild change-up breaking ball pitch. I don't even know what it was there from Schneider. The 2-2, and that one swung on and missed. A strikeout for Colin Schneider as Ryan Grundy goes down swinging. So no runs given up by Schneider. A walk was given up, though, and that's awarded to Bradley Soto Diaz. Tie game as we make our way to the top of the fifth. We'll be right back. We're back here in the top of the 5th inning for the Newark Pilots at bats. Leading off for them is Jake Keenan, the last batter, as that first pitch from Blake is strike. Keenan goes down swinging. In between that innings, we just had a police officer shooting some Auburn Doubledays t-shirts into the crowd. It didn't really work so well, but it was great entertainment for the fans. And the young kids did end up getting some shirts. Count is 1-1, the pitch. And that one's outside, making the count 2-1. The pitch, and that one swung on and missed. The count is 2-2. Fastball blown right by Keenan. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be chopped on. And he does, in fact, go down swinging. That's a strikeout for Tyler Blake. The lineup will flip over. That'll bring up Dominic Zinna with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Zinna looking to pick up a hit for the Newark Pilots and get things going. The pitch, and that one's outside for ball 1. Count is 1-0 with 1 out. The pitch from Blake, and that one swung on and missed, making the count 1-1. Tie game, 3-3. Doubledays have 1 hit, and the Pilots have 1 hit. That next pitch does not find the zone. 2-1 count. And that one's fouled back our way. 88-mile-per-hour fastball from Tyler Blake. The pitch, and that's outside. Count is full. To the righty, Zinna. The pitch, and that one's going to be popped up our way. Out of play. The pitch, and that one finds the zone. Down looking goes Zinna. He was making his way towards first. He thought that one was a ball. While the home plate umpire does the punch out, and that's the second strike of the top of the 5th inning for Tyler Blake. And that'll bring up Grant Russo, the left fielder, also a lefty. The pitch on the way, and that one's outside for ball 1. 2 outs, though. The pitch on the way, and that one's called strike by the home plate umpire. 1-1 count. The pitch, and that one's low. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, the 2-1, and that one's called strike. Fastball down the middle. That one clocked in at 89. The 2-2 pitch, and that one's high for ball 3. The pitch, and that one's outside. Russo is going to take his bag, and that'll bring up Mason Haar with 2 outs and a runner on first. Off of first already is Russo. Blake's going to come set, give Russo a look. The pitch, and that's called strike. Right down the middle. Russo off first. The pitch. That one swung on and missed. Count is 0-2 with 2 outs. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Blake, and that one's in the dirt. Great stop there by Groves to keep the runner on first base. The pitch on the way, and that one's popped up our way. Parr stays alive. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit to the shortstop. He's going to step on second base for the third out of the top of the fifth. A great play there by Gavin Grapuso to get Rousseau out at second base. That's a unassisted 6 out. So that'll be it here in the top of the fifth. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the fifth. Colin Schneider still on the mound. We'll be back. We're back here in the bottom of the fifth as the Doubledays are due up at Dalton Groves, the catcher, up to the plate. That first pitch was a strike. The pitch from Schneider, and that one gets away from Brennan Stabley. Count is 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, and that one's just high, making the count 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch on the way, and that one's inside, making the count 3-1. The pitch from Schneider, and that one's going to be popped back our way. The count is 3-2. Groves hit a double earlier on in the game that scored a couple of runs. That was in the second inning. The pitch, and that one's inside for ball 4. Dalton Groves is going to walk. Brennan Stabley shaking his head. He thought that one was a strike. The lineup will flip over for the Auburn Doubledays. Due up is Gavin Grapuso, the lefty. He's dealing with no outs and a runner on first base. Steve LaRose gives the runner on first, Dalton Groves, some signs. The throw back to first is not in time from Colin Schneider. A great pickoff attempt, though. Off of first already is Groves. The pitch, and that's outside. Great stop by Stobley. The 1-0 pitch, and that one gets away from Stobley. That one was in the dirt, and taking off the second is Groves. He's going to round second, but stay put. 2 balls, no strikes. No movement in the Pilots bullpen. The 2-0 pitch, and that one's outside for ball 3. A walk here would have a runner on first and second. Schneider comes set. The 3-0, and that's outside for ball 4. Grapuso is going to walk. And Fulton lays down a bunt. It's going to be hit back to Schneider. The throw to first is in time for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Only 1 pitch needed for a bunt from Fulton, but he's going to be out at first. Runners will advance. We have runners on second and third. On second is Grapuso. On third is Dalton Groves. And that'll bring up Gabe Sanders, the third batter in the Doubledays lineup. He hit an RBI in the first inning. The pitch, and that one's going to be ripped down third base, but that one is foul. That one almost hit Dalton Groves. The pitch, and that one's low for ball 1. Great stop by Stobley. One and one count with 1 out. Schneider comes set. The pitch. And that one's going to be hit into right field. Groves is going to score. Grapuso being waved home. The throw into home is not in time as Schneider cuts that one off. A base hit for Gabe Sanders that scores 2. That's his 3rd RBI of the night. 5-3 ball game. Doubledays are up here in the bottom of the 5th inning with 1 out. And taking off towards second is Sanders as Zach Bell swings at that one. It was almost a wild pitch. And Bell's laughing because he swung at that one, and it was able to distract the catcher Stobley to allow Sanders to steal. And Sanders is already off of second base. 0-1 count with 1 out. Schneider gives Sanders a look. The pitch, and that one's high to Bell for ball 1. 1-1 count with 1 out. Sanders off of second. The pitch, and that one's high for ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike, half of a full count to the righty Bale, who is looking to score the runner, who's in scoring position. The 2-1, and that one's going to be popped up back our way, making the count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Espinal on deck. The 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball that catches Bale swinging, and that's a strikeout for Colin Schneider as the 68-mile-per-hour slurve, 12-6 curveball, caught Bale swinging. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Fernando Espinal, who has a runner in scoring position. The pitch, and Schneider loses his hat, and that gets away from Stabley. Sanders is on third base. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Schneider literally threw out of his hat there. The pitch on the way, and that one is a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. That one's popped back our way, making the count 2-1 with 2 outs. Half of a full count to Espinal. Looking for a base hit. The pitch on the way, and that one's called strike outside corner of the plate. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Schneider looking for the strikeout. Espinal looking for a base hit to score Sanders, who will prevail. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be fouled towards the Doubledays dugout. Espinal ready to go in the box. The 2-2 pitch on the way, and that one's low and in the dirt, making the count 3-2. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be popped up. Underneath that is Stabley, and he makes the grab, and Espinal pops up to the catcher to end the bottom of the 5th inning. Not after 2 runs do come in, as Sanders hit in Raposo and Groves. So that'll be it here in the bottom of the 5th. We're going to make our way to the top of the 6th for Tyler Blake's relief pitching outing still continuing. We'll be back. We're back here for the top of the 6th. Leading off is the catcher, Brennan Stabley, as that first pitch is way outside for ball 1. The pitch, and that one's outside for ball 2. And that one's going to be popped up to right field. Underneath that is Ethan Fulton, and he makes the grab. A lot of distance covered by Fulton to get the first out here in the top of the 6th inning. What a play by Ethan Fulton. With one out, that'll bring up the center fielder, Keegan McGraw, the fifth batter in the Pilots lineup. 5-3 ball game. Doubledays have 2 hits. Pilots have 1 hit. Blake ready to go. The pitch, and that's fouled back our way. Count is 0-1 with 1 out. The pitch on the way, and that one's inside for ball 1. The pitch on the way, and that one's low and in the dirt for ball 2. Field umpire says he did not swing. 2-1 count. The pitch, and that one's going to be fouled first base side out of play. The count is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The pitch, and that one's called strike 3. Down looking is McGraw. A strikeout for Tyler Blake, and that's the second out of the inning. What a pitch by Tyler Blake. And that'll bring up Steven Krause, the first baseman for the Pilots. He's a lefty. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit right back to Blake, but it gets past his glove. Going to that is Grapuso. The throw to first is not in time. A great attempt by Gavin Grapuso. He laid out for that one, and he laid out the throw as well, but it was not in time to get the speedy Steven Krause. And that's going to be the second out still, but we do have a runner on first base, and that'll bring up Jack Stead, the shortstop. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be popped up to right field. Going over to it is Ethan Fulton, and he easily makes the grab for the third out of the top of the 6th. A great play by Ethan Fulton, a strikeout by Blake, and another play by Fulton that ends the 6th inning. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 6th on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We've got a pitching change here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitching now for the Pilots is Jack Kelleher Mochok from Florence, Massachusetts. He attends Wheaton College. He's a rising freshman. That'll bring up Alex Sandell for the Auburn Doubledays. He's leading off here in the bottom of the 6th. He's looking to capitalize off of Jack here. The pitch, and that one's called strike right down the middle. 0-1 count with no outs. 5-3 ball game. Doubledays winning. A win here would improve them to 2.5 games behind Batavia. That next pitch does not find the zone. 1.5 games behind the first place Batavia Muck Dogs. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be hit into left field and drop in for a base hit. Jack Stead could not catch that one. A great bloop hit there by Alex Sandell to get things going for the Doubledays offense. And that'll bring up Adam Sullivan, who's already got himself a hit in this game. The time is 7 o'clock. It's taken 2 hours to get through 6.5 innings. Well, technically 5.5. The pitch, and that one swung on and missed. That one clocked in at 79 miles per hour. Sandell is off of first. Mochak's going to give him a look. As Sullivan's going to lay down a bunt, and it's going to be popped back and foul. Sullivan's probably very happy that that one did not land in the glove of Stabley to get him out. 0-2 count. Sullivan will not bunt here. Sandell still on first. No balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Mochak comes set, giving Sandell a look. The pitch, and that one swung on and missed. A strikeout for Jack Kelleher Mochak. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And that'll bring up Bradley Soto Diaz with Sandell on first. The pitch, and that one's popped up out of play first base side. 0-1 count with 1 out. The 0-1, and that one swung on and missed. Count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Kelleher comes set, looking at Sandell. The pitch, and that one's going to be popped up. Running to that is Keegan McGraw. He makes the grab for the second out, and Sandell's going to stay put at first base. We have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We do have a pinch hitting change here in the bottom of the 6th. Hitting now is Brandon Hofstreiser, taking the place of Ryan Grundy. He's looking to move around Alex Sandell on first base. As Kelleher steps off the bag. Doesn't want Sandell to leave. First, doesn't want him to pick up a stolen base. The pitch, a breaking ball that finds the zone. 0-1 count. No balls, 1 strike, the pitch, and that one swung on and missed. The count is 0-2 with 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch, and that one's inside for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Sandell off of first. The 1-2, and that one swung on and missed. Mochak gets the punch out, and that's the third out here in the bottom of the 6th. We're going to make our way to the top of the 7th inning. 5-3 ball game, Doubledays up. We'll be right back. Leading off for Newark in the top of the 7th inning is number 3, Ray Toth. It is a 5-3 ball game. Doubledays are up. The pitch, and that one's a ball. We do have another pitching change. This time it's Andrew Catrone pitching for the Auburn Doubledays. He takes the place of Lucas Blake. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit into center field for a base hit for Ray Toth. I did not mean Lucas, I meant Tyler Blake. So we have a runner on first base with no outs, and that'll bring up Jack Harley, the 9th batter in the Pilots batting lineup. He's their EH. He's also a lefty. The pitch, and that one swung on and missed. A strike from Catrone. The 0-1 pitch, and that one's low, and that one gets away from Groves. The throw to second is not in time. That one gets past the glove of Grapuso and goes into center field as Bradley Soto Diaz has to get that one. It was a great throw by Groves, but it got under the glove of Grapuso and was not in time to tag out Ray Toth. As that next pitch is a ball. The pitch, and that one's low again. Another ball to the lefty, Jack Harley. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be hit into left field and drop in for a base hit. Rounding third is Ray Toth. The throw to home is not going to happen, and there's an RBI for Jack Harley to score Ray Toth from second base. 5-4 ball game with no outs. Harley is on first base. And with no outs and a runner on, that'll bring up the last batter in the Pilots lineup, Jake Keenan. The pitch, and that's a breaking ball that finds the zone. Keenan was going to throw down a bunt, but pulled back. No balls, one strike. The pitch on the way, and that one's low. Ball one. So we have a 1-1 count. The pitch, and that one's low. The throw to first is not in time. Two balls, one strike. That one got away from Groves, but he ended up stopping it and keeping Harley on first. The pitch, and that one's called strike outside corner of the plate. 2-2 count with no outs. A strikeout here would be huge from Catrone. The 2-2 pitch, and that one's going to go into center field. Back-to-back base hits from the Newark Pilots. As Catrone's just putting the ball into the batter's box, and the Pilots are putting bat on ball 3 times so far here in the top of the 7th. They already have a run scored, and with runners on first and second, the lineup will flip over, and that'll bring up Dominic Zinna. The pitch, and that one's a breaking ball that almost clips Zinna. He did pull down a bunt attempt, but pulled back for ball one. The 1-0 pitch, and Zinna did lay down a bunt again, but pulled back. 2-0 count. Two balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch, and that one's called strike inside corner of the plate. 2-1 count. Half of a full count to the righty Zinna. The 2-1, and that one's going to be popped up. Underneath that is Sandell, and he makes the grab, but it does not matter. That's an infield fly. Batter is out. So with 1 out, runner still on first and second. That will bring up Grunt Russo. Infield fly is still in play, though, in case Russo pops up in the infield, and that pitch is high for ball one. Home plate umpire did a great job of signaling the infield fly. So we have a 1-0 count with 1 out. The pitch on the way, and that one's going to be hit to the shortstop. Corpuso flips to the second for the first out. The throw to first is not in time. So instead of a 6-4-3, we only have a 6-4 put out. But there are 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. No runs came in. Mason Hard is due up to the plate. He's the 3rd batter in the Pilots lineup. He's their right fielder. We have a runner on first and third. And there goes the runner to second, and Grant Russo is going to be in time as that one bobbled off of the glove of Dalton Groves. The pitch on the way, and that one's called strike outside corner of the plate. 1-1 count with 2 outs. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Catrone comes set. The pitch, and that one is going to be ball 2 with 1 out. 2 outs, excuse me. Catrone comes set. The pitch, And that one's outside of the plate. 2-1 count. The pitch. And that one is called a strike. Mason Haar thought he walked, but instead that is a full count approach with 2 outs. Three balls, 2 strikes. Fans giving it to Haar because he thought that one was a ball. The pitch. And Haar is going to strike out. So instead of a walk given up by Andrew Catrone, that is a strikeout as Mason Haar goes down looking. And that's it here in the top of the 7th, but not after 1 run does come in. 5-4 ball game. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th inning on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Leading off is Dalton Groves, the catcher, and the last batter in the Doubledays lineup. He did hit a double early on in the game, and the pitch on the way from Kelleher is a ball. 1-0 count, 5-4 ball game. Newark picked up a run in the top of the 7th. The pitch, and that one's called strike. 1-1 count. The pitch on the way, and that one is a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch, and that one just misses the zone, a breaking ball. We have a 3-1 count. Kelleher comes set. The 3-1, and that one's going to be belted into left field. Running back is Grant Russo, and he cannot make the grab as that one goes to the wall. Rounding second is Groves, but he slides in, and there's a double for Dalton Groves to get things off for the Auburn Doubledays offense. We've got a runner on second base, another double for Dalton Groves, and the lineup will flip over. That'll bring up Gavin Garpuso, the shortstop. Doubledays do need some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit shortly to the first baseman, Stephen Cross, and he steps on the bag for the first out. Dalton Groves will advance to third base, but that is an out. That'll bring up Ethan Fulton, who bunted in his last at-bat that moved around the runners to second and third. So with 1 out, 5-4 ball game, a hit here to score Groves would be huge. Groves is off of third. The pitch, and that one's inside for ball one. Fulton thinks that that one hit him. So it is a 1-0 count with one out. As Kelleher is going to step off the plate, take some time in between his next pitch. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, the pitch, and that one is high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Kelleher comes set, the 2-0, and that one's going to be hit left field side, but out of play. The count is 2-1. A fan tried to catch that one with his bare hand, but instead he could not make the grab as it ricochets off of his hand. Let's hope that he's okay, but he appears to be. He got the ball, though. So that's good. But it is a 2-1 count, the pitch, and that one's going to be hit shortly to the second baseman, Dominic Zinner. The throw to home is not in time. An RBI for Ethan Fulton that scores Dalton Groves. Brennan Stobley could not believe that one. He thought the throw from Zena got him out. So instead of 2 outs, it is a 6-4 ball game. Doubledays are winning. Another insurance run off of an RBI by Ethan Fulton. So with 1 out, that'll bring up Gabe Sanders, who had an RBI in the first inning. The pitch, and that one swung and a missed. A throw down to second is in time to get out the stealing Ethan Fulton. So Fulton ends up getting out, trying to steal to second. Great throw by Brennan Stobley to catch the stealing Fulton, as that next pitch does not find the zone. 2 outs, 1 ball, no runners on. Sanders up to the plate. As Kelleher is going to call time, walk off the mound. He's going to refresh his mind. Stobley's going to talk to him as well. One 0 count. Stobley makes his way back behind home plate. As Sanders steps back into the box, Kelleher is ready to go. The pitch on the way, and that one swung on and fouled back our way. The count is 1-2. On deck is the cleanup batter for the Doubledays, Zach Bale, if Sanders reaches the bag. One ball, 2 strikes. Fans on their feet. They want to see a big hit here from Sanders. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit to the second baseman, Zinna. The throw to first is in time to pick up the 3rd out in the bottom of the 2nd. 1 run will score, though. It is a 6-4 ball game as the Doubledays are winning. We're going to make our way to the top of the 8th. We'll be right back. We do have a pitching change. That is Theo Canning pitching, and he did just give up a base hit there to Brennan Stobley. So we have a runner on first. 6-4 ball game. Off of first is Stobley. The pitch, and that one swung on and whipped, as that is a 0-1 count with no outs. The pitch on the way, and that one swung on and missed again. Back-to-back strikes from Canning. 0-2 count with no outs. Canning gives Stobley a look. Comes set. The pitch, and there goes Stobley to second, but he's going to have to go back because that's a foul ball out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Stobley back to first base. And the throw over to first is not in time to try to get Stobley. Bale thought he got him out. Still an 0-2 count. Stobley still off of first. Dancing around trying to distract Canning. The pitch, and that one is low for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. The pitch, and that is a strike 3 from Canning to get the first out here in the top of the 8th. And the throwback from Groves is not in time to try to get Stobley. So we have 1 out here in the top of the 8th. And with a runner still on, that'll bring up Stephen Krause, who is the 6th batter in the Pilots lineup. The throw over to first is not in time, but that one was very close. Great heads-up play by Canning. A great pickoff move. The pitch on the way, and there goes Stobley. The throw to second is in time. What a great throw by Dalton Groves to get Stobley stealing. What a great play. We've got 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. That pitch was also a strike to Cross, so it is 0-1 count with 2 outs. The pitch, and that one's outside and gets away from Groves. That is ball 1. The pitch, and that one's high for ball 2. The count is 2-1 with 2 outs. Canning comes set, the pitch, and that's a breaking ball that just misses the outside corner of the plate. 3-1 count. Three balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 pitch, and that is outside for ball 4, as Cross is going to take his base. So with 2 outs and a runner on first, that'll bring up Jack Steed, the shortstop for the Pilots. Canning comes set, the pitch, and that one almost clips him. Count is 1-0. That pitch finds the zone, 1-1 count. Theo Canning comes from Kenyon College, and his hometown is Yonkers, New York. He's already given up 1 hit, but has recorded 2 outs as well. The pitch on the way, and that one finds the strike zone. 1-2 count with 2 outs. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fans want to see a strikeout. The 1-2 pitch on the way, and that one's outside for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Canning going to give the runner on first a look. He's going to throw the pitch, and that one's high. That is ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Canning comes set. The pitch on the way, and that one finds the zone. And that's a strikeout for Theo Canning as Jack Steed goes down looking. That's going to be it for the top of the 8th. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back. We've got another pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th. Pitching now is Johnny Hesterman, as that pitch to Zach Bale does not find the zone. 1-0 count. 6-4 ball game. Doubledays are up. Hesterman measures in at 6'9" as that pitch is popped up to the second baseman, Dominic Zinna, for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. With 1 out, that'll bring up Fernando Espinal. He already has a hit in the game. Struck out in his last at-bat. Looking to capitalize off of Hesterman. The pitch. And that one is low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes with 1 out. The pitch on the way, and that one is low and gets away from Brendan Stobley, but that does not matter. There are no runners on. 2-0 count. Hesterman comes set the pitch, and that one is low. The 3-0, and that one is ball 4. Espinal is going to take his base. We've got a runner on first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up Alex Sandell. Espinal is already off of first base. Hesterman's going to give him a look. The pitch, and there goes Espinal. The throw to second is not in time. That one gets past the glove of Jack Stead, excuse me. Actually, that one got away from the glove of Dominic Zina, the second baseman. So that's a stolen bag for Fernando Espinal with 1 out, and that pitch was a strike, so it is a 0-1 count with 1 out to Sandell. The pitch, and that one's low, going to get away from the catcher, and Espinal is going to pick up another bag on a wild pitch from Hesterman. That one got past the glove of Brennan Stobley. The pitch, and that one's going to be popped up into shallow right field, and that one's going to drop for a base hit from Sandell. Espinal is going to score. 7-4 ball game. Great bloop hit there from Alex Sandell to score Espinal on third base. And we do have a pinch runner. Hitting now is Trevor Murray, number 3, instead of Adam Sullivan. So with 1 out, Sandell on first. Hesterman's going to fake the throw back to first. The pitch on the way. Sandell takes off to second, and Murray will swing at that one. So a stolen bag for Alex Sandell and a strike swinging from Trevor Murray. The count is 0-1 with 1 out. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit into right field. Underneath that is Mason Hart, but he cannot come up with it. That one gets past his glove. Sandell's going to score. Rounding second is Trevor Murray, and that's a stand-up triple for Trevor Murray as that one gets past the glove of Mason Hart, and he appears to be hurt as well. He was underneath it, that it went past his glove. Let's hope that the right fielder, Mason Hart, is all right as he is walking gingerly in right field. So it is a 8-4 ball game. That is 6 hits for the Auburn Doubledays as they tie the Newark Pilots with 6 hits as well. 8-4 ball game off of a stand-up triple from Trevor Murray to get things going here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 runs have come in. That's more insurance run needed by the Doubledays. As the manager for the Newark Pilots, Daniel Steve, called timeout. He wants to talk to his relief pitcher and give Mason Hart also a little bit of time to walk it off in right field. Let's hope that he's all right. So Daniel Steve's going to head back out to the dugout. We have 1 out, runner on third. Bradley Soto Diaz up to the plate. Hesterman's going to come set, give Murray a look. The pitch, and that one's going to be swung on and fouled back for strike one. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch, and that one finds the strike zone. 0-2 count with 1 out to Soto Diaz. The pitch, and that one's going to be popped up foul out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, and that one swung on and missed. That's a strikeout for Johnny Hesterman. That's his first of the night. We've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And that'll bring up Brandon Hofsteiser, who's pinch hitting for Ryan Grundy with 2 outs. Murray is still on third. The pitch, and that one does not find the strike zone. That is ball 1. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit to the second baseman, Zinna, who drops it. The throw to first is not in time. That's an RBI from Brandon Hofsteiser. What a crazy play. That one hit off the glove of Dominic Zinna. It looked like an easy out, but instead it is an E4. It is a 9-4 ball game. Doubledays have scored 3 runs so far here in the bottom of the 8th. They are coming to life in the second half of the ball game. Their bats look hot. Off of first is Hofsteiser, the pitch, and that one's called strikes, 75 mile per hour breaking ball that found the zone to Dalton Groves, the catcher. Hesterman's going to step off of the plate, or of the mound. The pitch, and that was going to be hit shortly to Zinna. He gloves it cleanly. The throw to first is in time for the 3rd out. But that is not after 3 runs come in for the Auburn Doubledays. 9-4 ball game. More insurance run for the Doubledays. Unless the Pilots get 5 runs here, that is going to be it in the 9th. We're going to be right back for the top of the 9th inning on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We are back here in the top of the ninth inning, 9-4 ball game. Doubledays on top. Ray Toth leading off against Theo Canning as that pitch finds the zone. 0-1 count. Doubledays looking to get a shutout inning here to win the game at home against the Pilots. The 0-1 pitch, and that was going to be swung on and whipped. 0-2 count. The 0-2 pitch, and that one's going to be popped up. Underneath that is Alex Sandell for an easy first out. With one out and Ray Toth out, that will bring up Jack Harley, the EH, a lefty for the Pilots. Harley is looking to get things going for the Pilots in the top of the ninth, and Canning looking for another strikeout. The pitch, and that was going to be popped up out of play, left field side. Canning is going to come set from the windup. The pitch, and that one's outside for ball one. 1-1 count to the lefty, Jack Harley. This is the third pitch of the at-bat coming up. The pitch on the way, and that was going to be popped up into shallow left field, and that one's going to be... Oh, no. Not good. We have a collision. Oh, no. That is not good. We have a collision in left field. Not good at all. Ryan Grundy is down. Gavin Grapuso was down. They ran into each other. That is not a good scene. It's actually Hofscheiser in left field in place of Grundy, and Hofscheiser is slow to get up. Let's hope that he's all right. And Grapuso is slow to get up as well. The trainer's out looking at them. I'm not sure if that one was caught or not, but at this time it really doesn't matter. We're focused on the well-being of the Doubledays players. They both ran into each other trying to catch it. As Steve LaRose is going to check on them. Crowd went quiet here in Auburn. The players are silent. Let's hope that Hofscheiser and Rapuso are all right. And it looks like Rapuso is standing up. Hofscheiser is still on the ground. And Rapuso's up and walking around. That is a good sign. But Hofscheiser is flat out on the ground. That is not a good sign. We'll step away for a minute to give Hofscheiser some time. So Hofscheiser is up now. That is a good sign, but he is definitely wincing in pain. That was a very scary play. They ran into each other in shallow left field. And it looks like Hofscheiser is going to be helped up. His night's going to be done. Let's hope that Hofscheiser is all right. Going to make his way to the clubhouse. Rapuso is still out there, though, and he seems to be doing all right. But Hofscheiser has left the game due to his injuries. A trainer helped him out, and it looks like going to take the place of Hofscheiser is number 28, Avery Dozy. He's going to be playing left field. Rapuso is still at shortstop. And it looks like that ball was, in fact, dropped. That is going to be a single, and then another run advanced by Jack Harley due to a no throw because the runners were hurt. Scary moment here in Auburn. Fans are still shaken up. Let's hope that Brandon Hofscheiser is okay. Raposo's still at shortstop. He seems to be all right. But after a scary collision, we are back. Jake Keenan is up to the plate. The pitch, and that one is called strike, outside corner of the plate. No balls, one strike with one out. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit into center field and drop in front of the glove of Bradley Soto Diaz. And there's going to be one run scored for the Pilots. It is a 9-5 ball game as Jack Harley scored on a single into center field by Jake Keenan. The lineup will flip over. That'll bring up Dominic Zena. He's working with one out and a runner on first. 9-5 ball game. The pitch, and that one finds the strike zone. 0-1 count with one out. Canning gives the runner on first the look. Comes set. The pitch, and that one's going to be belted into left field. Back goes Dozy, but he makes the grab as he's falling down. But the home plate umpire indicates that that one was dropped. Dozy covered a lot of ground, but he ended up falling and stumbling and dropping the ball. So instead of almost looked like an out, that one fell between the legs of Avery Dozy. That will keep one out still on the board. Runners are on first and second. And that'll bring up Grant Russo, the left fielder for the Pilots. The pitch from Canning, and that one's outside for ball one. Doubledays still have 4 runs, but there are still runners on the bags. 2 runners on. The pitch, and that one finds the strike zone for strike one. As we're having another camera issue. And that pitch does not find the zone. 2-1 count. Next pitch is just high, 3-1. The pitch, and that one's going to be popped up left field side, out of play. Count is full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Grant Russo. Fans want to see a strikeout. The pitch, and that one's high for ball 3. We've got bases loaded. So with 1 out, that'll bring up Mason Haar, and Dalton Groves is going to go call a timeout to go talk to Theo Canning. As I'm working on trying to change the camera out. Canning comes set, the pitch, and that one's going to be popped up to right field. Running over is Alex Sandell, and he catches that one. And the throw to home is in time to keep the runner on third base. We've got 2 outs. The fans love that one. Still a 9-5 ball game with 2 outs. And due up is is Brennan Stobley, the cleanup batter catcher. He's got bases loaded with 2 outs. The pitch, and that one is strike one. Next pitch is that one's going to be popped up out of play. Count as 0-2. That pitch is going to be fouled back our way. We've got a 0-2 count with 2 outs. As that one was given to the bat boy. Canning looking for a strikeout here. The pitch, and that one's going to be hit to Gavin Grapuso. He steps on second for the 3rd out. The Doubledays win the game. What a great play to end the game. Overall, a great game offensively for the Auburn Doubledays. They're going to win this one 9-5. The Doubledays win. Doubledays bats really woke up in the second half of the game. Dalton Groves had himself 2 doubles. He's going to be my MVP of the night. And offensively, defensively, I'm going to give it to Alex Sandell, who had himself a great night at second base. Andrew Rucci had himself a great start. And Theo Canning got the save. So a great game by the Auburn Doubledays. They're going to improve to 13-7, 1.5 games behind the Auburn Doubledays. And the Newark Pilots are going to fall 8-14. And their 4-game win streak is going to snap. And the Doubledays are going to have a 3-game win streak after the win tonight. A great win here in Auburn, New York on a cloudy 72-degree night, as it is chillier now. I'm Evan Carocchio. Thanks for listening to the Doubledays contest between the Newark Pilots. The Doubledays get the win. We'll be back home. The next game is going to be on Tuesday. And that game is going to be against the Elmira Pioneers at home. So that's it here in Auburn, New York. Thanks for listening. Have a great night. The Doubledays win this one 9-5.